Is Jacksonville's Northside a hidden gem, or is there a reason it's more affordable? If you're thinking about moving to Jacksonville, especially if you're trying to get more space for your money, this is one area that keeps coming up. So today I'm going to break it down for you in a really honest, straightforward way so you can decide if it might be a good fit for you and your family. Hi, I am Carrie Ann Kilpatrick with Let's Be Realty Girl, and I help families navigate the Jacksonville area. Whether you're relocating here or moving locally, and one of the things I always tell my clients is not every area is right for every person. So let's talk about Northside and who it actually works for. So, what and where is the Northside? So let's quickly talk about where Northside actually is located in the Jacksonville area. This area is located just north of downtown Jacksonville. You're close to the airport, you've got easy access to I-95, and you're near River City Marketplace, which has a lot of your shopping and dining right there close by. It's also one of the areas in Jacksonville that's still growing and developing, which is part of why people are starting to pay a lot more attention to it. Why people are looking here. Now, the biggest reason people are drawn to the north side is really simple. You get more house for your money. And compared to areas like Nocatee or the beaches, you're going to find larger home sites, much bigger lots, newer construction homes, and a lower price point overall. So for families, especially, this can be really appealing if you're trying to balance budget and space. What are the pros of the north side? So let's talk about what Northside does really well. Those things would be affordability. This is one of the more accessible areas in Jacksonville if you're trying to stay within a certain budget, but still want a newer home. And what's next? Space. A lot of the communities here offer more breathing room, whether that's yard space or just less density compared to some of the more built out areas in Jacksonville. And third is growth. This area is developing. So what you're seeing now is not necessarily what it will look like in 5 or 10 years. That can be a positive if you're getting in to this area early on. So on the north side, there are several communities that people are starting to take a closer look at. Areas like Tidewater, Amelia View, Katy Cove, and Bradley Pond. But instead of trying to cover all of this at one time, let me just give you a quick snapshot at one of these neighborhoods so you can get a feel for what it is actually like. So let's look at Tidewater today. Tidewater is a mix of established homes and new builds, all by ICI Homes, which tends to offer a little more flexibility and upgraded feel compared to some of the more production style builders. What does it offer? You've got amenities like a community pool, a nice playground, and overall it has a clean, upgraded feel in comparison to some other neighborhoods. Now, in terms of price point, this is one of those neighborhoods where it really depends on the phase. Some of the earlier homes start in the low 400s, and the newer phase can go up significantly from there depending on upgrades and your lot selection. So this is a great example of what I mean when I say you can get more space for your money. But it's still important to think about location and your particular lifestyle. So let's go through the cons. Now, let's talk about the other side of this, because this is where you really need to think about and understand your particular lifestyle. So, first, commute is a big one. Depending on where you work, you could be looking at a longer drive, especially if you're heading towards St. Johns County or a lot of the beaches area, or even parts of the South Jacksonville. So, schools are another consideration for families, especially. This is something you absolutely want to research based on your specific needs and priorities. And then there's the fact that some areas are still developing. So you may not have the same level of amenities, restaurants, or walkability that you would find in some of the more established areas of Jacksonville. So, who is the North Side actually great fit for? Well, I would say it really tends to work well for first time home buyers for sure. Families who want more space, more yard, buyers who are priced out of some of the other areas in Jacksonville, and people who don't mind a commute in exchange for value, that bang for your buck. If your priority is getting the most home for your money, this area deserves a serious look. And now, who is it not for? So, the flip side of this, it may not be the best fit if you want to be really close to the beach. You're about 20 minutes from the north side. You're looking for a highly walkable, lifestyle driven area like Riverside, or if you need to be close to St. Johns County or specific work hubs. This is where being honest about your day to day life really matters. So, is Jacksonville's North Side a hidden gem or is it an overlooked area? Honestly, it depends on what you are looking for. For the right buyer, this can be an incredible opportunity to get space, value, and long term potential. But it's not a one size fits all area. If you're thinking about moving to Jacksonville or somewhere in Northeast Florida, understanding the differences between neighborhoods is one of the most helpful steps you can take before starting your home search. If you're comparing neighborhoods in Jacksonville, you may also want to watch the very next video. It's going to have some really helpful information. And if you've already found the perfect neighborhood, I also have a home tour checklist for growing families that can help you evaluate homes before making that final decision. So there you have it. I am Carrie Ann, helping you make sweet moves here in Northeast Florida. Don't forget to subscribe. You deserve a home that fits your life. I'll talk to you later.